All right, hopefully we're online. Audio is on, video is on. Let's see how things go today. I'm going to go post the link over on the website. The website is jollyrogerukulele.com. I go here, Sunday favorite, link to join. I highlight this, I hit delete, space, and command V, highlight, link, enter, edit, settings, open link in new window, update, and update. My little guitar prop just fell off. It made a weird sound over there. And we are now live. So let's go make sure that the link works properly. It takes us to the Jolly Roger YouTube event. There it is. And today we're playing Frère Jacques. We'll talk about the one and two chord songs in the book one. Then we'll play the first two pages of Bach. We'll take a look at the second two pages of Bach. And then we're going to play All of Me and talk about Ukulele Lady. So hopefully you've had some time in the last couple of weeks to work on this. We meet every other Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Denver time. And you guys are the best. So let's see how the best ukulele players on the planet, and so let's see how it goes, right? Lynn is in. Good morning, Lynn. Peace, love, and kittens. That was the next one in the rotation. Not trying to send a message anywhere. Kat, good morning, Kat. Good to see you. Linda, sound is good. Yeah, 9 inches of snow in British Columbia. Yeah, you guys. And Amy's story here. Amy is my new person nudging me along, and I love having her around. She has I've reached a point of struggling with enthusiasm for new ideas, and so she's my enthusiasm for new ideas person. All right, so now my plan is always these days to talk less and play more. Okay, so if I say something that's ridiculous, it makes no sense to you, send me an email. I'm down to about 180 emails in the inbox that are legit emails that I got to read this weekend. So, yeah, I'll get to you at some point. All right, let me pull up our playlist today and make sure I know what we're doing. And push this button right here. And we wait for it to come up. I pay for this super expensive internet from Xfinity, and it works the day you buy it. It's really fast, and then about 6 weeks afterwards it hardly works at all. All right, so first one, I'm going to play Frère Jacques, solo versions of Frère Jacques. Okay, I don't obviously on this A chord, right? I need you to be able to do that. Okay, but that's not really how we play around here. I need you to play the ukulele melody line. So let me pull up, make sure I'm not telling you anything that's not true on the book. It's on the piece of sheet music, book one. It's amazing how many things I have in book one. It's no wonder everybody's confused all the time. All right, so if you're on baritone, your chord shape is that one. That's your A chord on baritone. Okay, but play the melody. If you're on baritone, play the chord. If you're on ukulele, play the melody. From the top, 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, if you've been around a while, you have that memorized, right? That's something that you want to just have in your skull, so that when you start teaching other people, that can just be an instantaneous thing that happens, and you don't have to go look the sheet music up, and you can keep an eye on your student to make sure that they're doing things correctly. FYI, I haven't changed the strings on that instrument in about 6 months, and it sounds like it. How often do you change your strings? Once a year if you don't play very much, every 6 months or more if you play every day. Somewhere in between those two is the right answer for you. All right, baritone, we're going to do same thing, but ukulele, baritones are playing in the key of E. Okay, and back when I started, if something had an E chord in it, you just didn't play it because you had to do this thing. There's all these other weird, really horrible sounding solutions to this. This is the only correct solution. You're going to put a bar on 4 and your pinky on 7. If you're on ukulele, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you're playing. Okay, baritone, we're playing in that key. Okay, from the top, 1, 2, ready, play. Beautiful, right? I'll just give you a little anecdote here. I teach this exact same thing in Intro to Guitar, and we just had a new session start last Thursday out in Lakewood, and we as a group, we just had a hilarious time playing that song. So put it in your toolbox. It's something that you can really, we divided up. Half the third of the class played 0240, and then another third played 457, and then another third. They always get 797 I make them do it half speed, right, so they don't get blown out. And then their homework is to get that up to full speed. But people were just rolling in the floors. It was really, really funny. And then, of course, if you do that, you have the whole entire class do the 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then that part always is super successful. And then you rotate it around through the 3 groups, and then you play the whole song. And it really, 1, they learn how to read tablature. 2, they start getting comfortable with where they're, which strings to be on and which frets to be on. I usually play the chord along with them while I'm yelling out the numbers they're supposed to be playing and checking on their thumb position and all this stuff. And it can be quite a pleasant activity if you're starting some people off in ukulele. Just overdo this one song. It will help with all the other songs. It really will. Let's see. Lynn says, which strings do you recommend for low G ukes? Oh, for low G, you need to buy the guitar strings. The Savara's Red, and I'm not going to remember the number right off the top of my head, but it's Savara's classical guitar strings, and they're red. I think it's 540R. And now this is assuming that your low G ukulele came with a metal wound low G string here. If you have taken a high G string and tried to convert it to a low G string, then you're going to want to have a plastic low G string on here. But if it legitimately came with a metal low G string on here, then you want to use the Savara's Red seems to be the best choice. They're relatively inexpensive, and they have a really nice long-lasting sound, and they're very reliable in terms of quality. So then you would put the 4th string, 3rd, 2nd, and 2. You end up throwing strings 5 and 6 away. I have a drawer over at the shop, and I have hundreds of 5th and 6th strings. Right? If you want it a little tougher, I will sometimes use the 2, 3. How do I do that? No, I always do strings 1, 2, 3, and 4 on low G. I'm thinking baritone. That's where my confusion is. On low G, Savara's Red, and you can just type it into Google and it'll show you. I don't have a package of it around here, but it has some red stripes on it, and I think it's 540R. It might be 540J, and those are the strings I'd recommend for low G ukulele. And yeah, change them out if you play every day, every 6 months, you should probably be changing them out. Diane, good morning. Finally got parts working on the computer. Nice. And hey, Robin, good to see you as well. Amy, sound is quiet. Sound is quiet. Oh, part of that is that this is on. I'll talk louder. How about that? Let me move the microphone a little closer to me. Maybe turn up your volume, Amy. I'll talk louder. I'm probably just hanging out, chatting with you as if this is for real. All right, we've done baritone. We've done Frère, Jacques. All right, let's take a look very quickly now at the little booklet. Okay, the little booklet, your 1 and 2 chord songs. Now, this, guys, I know there's a part of you that's like, I don't know if this is all that important to me. But here's what happens. When you do this program, you get very good at finger picking, at doing lots of fancy stuff all the way up and down the neck, lots of fancy stuff with the right hand. What you don't spend enough time doing is getting good at playing chords. When you get together with other ukulele players, they're going to play circles around you because that's all they work on is chords. And so I want you to be always, when you sit down to practice a song, run through it chord-wise as well, and so that you don't like you come in with all these bad skills and then we're just going to do this and sing. I want you to be able to do that too, right? And so don't neglect your chords. Now I'm going to do ukulele first, obviously. So I've pulled up my ukulele version of this now, but we can play together. Okay. A chord on ukulele. Okay, and for the 1 and 2 chord songs, they're all going to be A chord and E7. Okay, so we're just going to work on the A's and E7s today. So A. Okay. Frère, Jacques, right? Or three blind mice. Okay, so there's your A chord. That's what's in the book under the red headlines. Those are just 1 chord songs. And then the other chord we got to work on today is E7. Now, to get to E7, don't be confused. Have a strategy. Index up 1, middle down 1, add your ring finger. Sounds weird because it's trying to become an A chord. Okay, so ukulele players, A chord, E7, A chord. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, those are your chords. Okay, baritones. Yours is in some ways easier, in some ways more difficult. Your A chord. Did I tune this up? I did. Your A chord looks like a D chord for ukulele. It's index, middle, and ring. Okay, and then your E7 here. Now notice, seventh chords always want to become a major chord. They're dying. They're like, oh, this is so crazy that I even exist, and then ta-da! So they do this nice job of dropping you into that. I bought the low G secondhand. I have to check if it's specifically built to be a low G. But lots and lots of ukuleles that I've made repairs on at the shop involve people putting on a metal wound low G string onto a high G ukulele. Here's why. How this happens is guitar players out there have finally figured out that ukulele is kind of fun, right? When I started, they kicked sand in my face and were like, yeah, ukulele, bleh. Right? There's still a bunch of them like that. But they're starting to figure out that they can sell you lessons if they say they're a ukulele teacher. And so the first thing they want to do is get rid of this high G, because that makes no sense in a guitar world. They're like, why is this one higher than the one below it? They just lose their minds. So they'll change out this string on here without checking whether the ukulele is structurally built to handle it. And then what it does is it tears the ukulele apart right here, right? Or it'll pull the bridge off on. So I've repaired lots and lots of ukuleles where somebody has done that to that. Be careful, okay? And by the way, I've done it 3 times to stuff on my own. So I'm like, oh, this looks pretty strong. That should be fine, and then it's not. So you can always put a plastic low G string on here. Here's the thing. They just don't sound very good. They don't. And I have a couple of people in our orchestra that are advanced players that are very passionate about their plastic low G string. I don't subscribe to that. I think if you're going to want to play low G, you want a metal wound string here, and you want it to be on a ukulele built to handle that pressure. All right. A chords, E7s. Okay. In the booklet, the red headlines are 1 chord. That's to teach when you're teaching how to make these chord shapes. You use those red headline songs. Okay. Spend 5-10 minutes on them. Then you go to the green headlines, and the first one that you run into is 5 Little Monkeys. It's over on page 6. So go grab page 6. The fun part about 5 Little Monkeys is you're only on that E7 for just a second, okay? And so you want to be able to get to bump, 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 Okay, I'm on baritone, you're on ukulele. It's fine. We'll sound great together. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, ready, go. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Went to the doctor, he said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Okay, so it's pretty easy on baritone, actually. Your A chord. The A chord's harder than the A chord on ukulele. Let's do verse 2. 1, 2, ready, go. 4 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Went to the doctor, he said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Okay, so that's it. That's all. That's it. But the key is to go fast between the two. That's why you have to think in advance about having a strategy to do that. Let's go over, let's not do hokey pokey. Let's go over to page 10. 10. Okay, let's talk about right hand. Okay, first you want to get good at this. Okay, then you want to get, when I teach you, use your thumb, right? Then we do your index finger, then you do a claw plucking, and then you do arpeggios. Those are the 4 things I teach everybody, and you all get pretty good at some of them. Okay, so let's talk about London Bridges, same chords. London Bridges, falling down, falling down, falling down. So let's do these 2 chord songs. First version, thumb down, steady, on the beat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. London Bridge is falling down. E7. Falling down. A chord. Falling down. London Bridge is falling down. E7. My fair lady. Okay, simple. Okay, got to be an expert at that. Okay, got to be. Make sure those chords are on by the time you get to the first beat. If you're not quite getting there, skip the last couple strums. Do this. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. It gives you plenty of time to get the chord changed on. You don't care about the chord you're on. You care about the next chord. And so always be looking ahead in the music for what your next chord is. All right. Then, next one is index finger up and down. Okay? Okay? 1, 2, ready, play. I'll build it up. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Build it up with silver and gold change. Silver and gold change. Silver and gold. Build it up with silver and gold. My fair lady. Now, when I go to a strum along, this is what I see mostly, right? Is index finger up and down, up and down, up and down. Sometimes people will have a pick, right? You don't need a pick, but that up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down thing, because that turns into down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, right? Which is what they all fall in love with, and they get really good at that. It's okay to get good at that, but it's not really the main highway that we need to take you down musically. Hey, Carol, welcome in. All right, I'm going to switch instruments, but we're not going to switch this concept. Okay, we're still going to go on to take the key and have some tea. Change the words because I didn't like lock it up. Yeah, you can do that in music. You don't have to do what it says. We're going to do take the key and have some tea, but this time 4-finger plucks. Boom, 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 boom. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Take the key and have some tea. Have some tea. Have some tea. Take the key and have some tea. My fair lady. Notice I'm keeping the beat completely steady, and then I'm just singing over the top of it. I'm a terrible singer, so anything that helps, I will go for, and having a nice steady beat really helps. Last way we play this, we play chords, thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. If you're on baritone, here's a cool one to do on ukulele. Make it more interesting. Start on your C string, thumb, index, middle. Thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That way your thumb is on the lowest sounding note on your ukulele. If you're on low G, you can do it like baritone. Put it on your thumb on that top string. But there's no specific rules about which fingers happen when. But I like to teach it as thumb, index, middle, ring to get you started, and then obviously you start thinking about what if I did thumb, middle, index, ring. And get a little different approach to it. I'm going to do the whole song. Do this. If you mess up, right, just get to the next chord, get it on, and get your thumb in the right spot and go. You won't mess up. You're going to be perfect. 1, 2, ready, play. London Bridge is falling down. E7. Falling down. Falling down. London Bridge is falling down. Ah, fair lady. Build it up with silver and gold. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. Build it up with silver and gold. My fair lady, take the key and have some tea. Have some tea. Have some tea. Take the key and have some tea. My fair lady. There you go. Fancy, right? A little showbiz at the end. All right, good. How about that? Lovely. Okay, next week, 2 weeks from now, 3 and 4 chord songs. Okay, so and I wrote down the list. The three chord songs are "I'm a Little Teapot," "I've Been Working on the Railroad," "On Top of Spaghetti," and "This Little Light of Mine." So those will be the and I'll put it on the website of the 3 chord songs we'll work on, and then the 4th chord, the 4 chord one, Kookaburra and Vive la Company. We'll do Kookaburra. Okay, so Kookaburra. I'll write that on. Kook. All right, so those will be the songs for 2 weeks from now. All right, that's book 1, right? Yes. So 2 weeks from now, we will do the 3 and 4 chord songs. And now let's take a look at book 2. Now, those of you guys who've been around a while, you know that this is legit music we're about to get into, and it's super hard, and it can be a little demoralizing. And so don't judge yourself too harshly on this. This is pretty heavy going. So let's pull out the Bach Menuett, which was written by Petzold. Everybody used to think till 1971 they thought Bach had written that. Can you imagine? So we call it the Menuett Suite because Bach just owned a copy of it. He didn't write it. Menuett Suite. Why do we have it in here twice? That's weird. I don't like to make mistakes. Hold on. Yeah, that's the same one twice. I'll get rid of one of them. Hey, Jan, welcome in. Jan and Charlie in from sunny. Yeah, I know. We finally have some nice weather out. All right. Last time we got together, we talked about pages 1 and 2. So we're going to play pages 1 and 2. And then we'll talk briefly about pages 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, which are the cool pages. Okay. And page 5 is the same as page 1. Okay. So you've already learned page 5 by learning page 1. We're going to play this slower than you would want to play it for real so that we can play together, and if you make a mistake, you're going to just move on, okay? I will first play it on ukulele, then we will play it on baritone. What I want you to do if you're on baritone is you got to play these chords, right? So if it says a G chord and it shows you this little thing on the ukulele version, you have to play that shape and so on. And you probably know that at this point. But the idea is that we can always play ensemble, always, if you know your chord shapes. Okay, if you're not staring at the little chart of what the chord looks like, you say, oh, G chord, that's that one. Okay, that's what you've got to get, especially if you're on baritone. Ukulele players, we pretty much, you're not going to run into a ton of baritone players out in the real world. Around here, you run into lots of them. But baritone players, you do have to get where you're pretty comfortable reading the chord charts from ukulele, because that's what's going to be there when you go to the get-togethers. Now, they want the baritone there because you create a depth of tone there, but you do have to be ready to read the ukulele chords. You have to have them in your noggin, and that's just a process of spending time practicing. Okay? All right. Beethoven, Bach, whatever, one of those guys. From the top, not fast. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, sorry. At the top. Second ending. Page 2. Sorry, to the measure 18. On to page 3 and 4, so just stop there and just be like, pat yourself on the back. Whatever you got done there is legit, high level, hard to play stuff. Now obviously this is not as hard to play as some of the other stuff. This is very solidly book 2. Like everything in here makes perfect sense from a chord melody perspective. It's typical Bach. It works on, he just knows how to write for every instrument except lute, which is interesting. His music just always sounds like it works. Every skill that you see on those 2 pages are skills that are going to come up over and over and over again in your ukulele life. So this is a wonderful piece to give you something to really try to dial in and get really good at. I think it's just positively brilliant. And while it's hard to play, it's not out of control hard like some of the other stuff we have. And obviously, we had talked about last week. I'm positive we did measure 24 when you get to that mess and you're like, oh God, what's going on there? You know, you look for the lowest note. That's where your bar is going to be. Okay. Because as I was playing through this, I was like, oh yeah, there comes that one thing. I got to just make sure, what's my low note? 9. Okay, and then I'm fine. Okay, beautiful. Let's go play the baritone version of it. Now, ukulele players, you haven't done your homework probably, so here's your chance to see how you do. The baritone version, where is it? Here it is in, I got to repaginate this thing. I'll get it cleaned up and posted one of these days. But the baritone version is in the key of D. Okay, so ukulele players, that's your D chord, right? You know that, I hope, right? And then you got your G chord, you know that. A7, you probably know, hopefully, okay? Your E chord's a bummer, okay? You're on bar 4, pinky on 7. That's just live with it, okay? That's the way it is what it is. And, and then we don't go into the minor yet, okay? So those are your main chords, okay? 1, 2, 3, the whole way through. Or if you want to be fancier, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you're in D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle. That will sound great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's where your 6 plucks for every 3 beats, and it'll sound really cool. Baritone players, here's your moment. Okay, we're trying to be equal to and this much better than regular ukulele players, right? No, we're not. We're not trying to do that at all. We're just trying to get through a song from the top. By the way, notice when I have this for you guys D chord, and I got to get my pinky up here. A lot of times I'm going to switch out index, middle, and pinky and not use my ring finger, even though it's going to create a problem down the road. It's just a little bit far of a stretch to get my pinky down there, so a lot of times I'm going to give it this shape instead of this shape. Okay, you notice my pinky ended up at the back of the fret, and so I got to push it out a little bit further, and it's not necessarily comfortable, so I'm thinking more using those fingers instead. Okay, it does create another problem because then you're going to have to get back here, but it's not a terrible problem. Okay, I'm going to do my thumb and then a claw, I think. 1, 2, 3. Page 2. Hopefully that's going well for you. By the way, celebration night, kids. Wouldn't it be cool to do a full arrangement of that? Amy and I are working on making a big fancy celebration night coming up for orchestra. All right, let's talk about page 2. I'm going to flip back over to the ukulele version of this. I have so many versions of this. Why, Gary? Oh, I know why I did. I was trying to be helpful and didn't turn out to be helpful. Page 3. Okay, measure 35. Okay, I'll give you a lesson on ukulele. Baritone, you have exactly the same situation, just the names are different. Okay, we're busy been playing in the key of G. Dun, 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 dun. Or if you're on baritone, it's a D, but this is this happy, lovely to get along with sound. Now when we go to the minor version, we have to switch out this. Now, this is a very common chord shape that you probably need to get into your noggin. Okay, and you can feel it's sad. So you've been playing dum da 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 dum 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 da 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 dum. Right here, this is what you've been playing. Now you're gonna go to wum bum bum wum bum bum wum ba da 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 dum. So it's much sadder, much more deep feeling. I want you to slow down a little bit when you get to this spot. So whatever speed you played that first section, first 2 pages in, these next 2 pages you play a little slower. Okay. So your main chord here is this shape. Okay. And then you've got this shape. This is also A minor on baritone, D minor on ukulele. Okay. C minor. I always use a little partial bar. Okay, then you're playing old D chord. You've run into this a million times. Bar on 2, pinky on 5. You are doing your bar chord warm up each time, right? Now look at what gets here. Measure 39 gets a little weird. Don't overthink it. The chord is a G minor, but the melody's up on 6, so we have to do a little bit of a fancy deal here. Okay. Okay, it's also a G minor up there. 0, 7, 6, 6. Again, whenever you see something like that, your bar is going to go on 6, but then you're like, oh, the first string is open. So now I just do a partial bar. 5, 6, 7. It's another G minor, but it's on right here. Okay, so that's the real G minor sound. Okay, and again, another little C minor. Regular D7, A7 on baritone. Okay, beautiful. Back to the main idea. Now here he changes the idea on you. He goes into the D7 shape, G7 shape, G7 on ukulele, D7 on baritone. Right, wang, wang. What is that doing there? It's there's a word, there's a theory, reason why he goes here, why he's allowed to do that. Okay, again the C minor, and in this case, I don't know if I'm going to put a C minor on because I've only got to hit that 3, just 0, 3. Then I got to go get a 1. Favorite chord, B flat, okay, or either way. In this case, I'm probably going to do a partial bar on the B flat because I feel like it's going to be easier to get back to the open shape up at measure 35. So I always teach you guys, hey, you want to be able to do this B flat, but sometimes you do this B flat. And I would say in this moment, this partial bar, with your A shape in front. Is a nice B flat to do there. Okay, so that's page 3. You'll be working on that this week, and then you're not gonna be shy going on to page 4. Page 4 is the hard one, and it'll be worth the effort. Okay, so let's look at measure 52. You got your B flat up the neck. We've done this one a lot of times. This isn't a B flat up the neck. Okay, it's an F chord. F chord on 5. Okay, that makes it a B flat up the neck. Okay, but just don't think about it as, what's going on here, right? It's just an F chord. It's just an F chord. You're using your middle and ring, and then you're putting a bar on 5. Okay, okay. There's a nice, beautiful chord. Okay, so run up there. And remember, don't try to chase your pinky here. Index, ring, bar, pinky. Yeah, I'm going to add in bum, bum after that. Okay, and then B flat again, measure 54. Whoops. So those first 3 measures in this page are like, I don't like this song anymore. Measure 55, finally a normal F. And notice measure 57, you have your C minor, partial bar, and then a pinky up on 6. Probably either switch out to your ring finger or just drag your pinky back. Then you got a mess, right? Measure 58. What's your low note? 5. Bar's going to go on 5, 6, 7, and then here's the hard part. You got to get your pinky on 8. Now your sheet music says 1 there as the second note. Just play. You're already holding down the 6 here, so it's the same note. So you might as well just play the second string, and then lift up. That gives you time to get down to B flat. Okay. Now what do you got going on here? Right, G7. But that's that's the main chord that's really happening, but it looks like an awful lot like a G chord to me. Right? So I would definitely just play a G chord here. And then you got E flat, which looks a whole lot like C minor, except it's a full bar. Okay, and again, you could do 6, 6, 6, like 6, 5, 6, pinky, 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 or pinky, ring, pinky. Okay, in classical guitar, they for sure would do. But I think it's perfectly fine. Just slide them back and forth. And then the hard part here, this is the part that I will mess up next when we get together again. 3, 5, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, bar. Okay, so I would strategize around what's the best way for that for you. Probably start with your middle finger. 3, pinky on 5, index on 2. Middle on 3, maybe not, maybe ring on 3, then that gives you your middle finger to get to the other 3. And years ago I had this memorized, so I would do it right every time. 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 1, bar. Okay, so probably that's the best fingering. Middle, pinky, index, ring, middle, index, bar, 0, 3, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 3, 0, 1. Just a little bit of a minor scale run. And then you got your C minor here. And lovely D chord here, but be ready for the hit. You're going to need your pinky here. Okay, so you're going to do a bar, pinky, slide, whatever finger you can get under the 3. I've got middle finger, index, okay, middle, index, and then a G minor chord, or, okay, so whoops, I think that probably the middle finger on the 3 is going to make the most sense. And then boom, and then that gives you time to change out to your G minor. Okay, all you gotta do is those 2 pages, right? And then you will have this song done, because the last page is the same as the first page. Here's the thing. Some of you want to have something like a piece to prove, like you're somebody, right? Yeah, you can go do Beatles songs. Yeah, you can do John Denver songs. Yeah, you could do Adele songs. You could do Ariana Grande. You know, you're a big Ariana Grande fan. But nothing's going to make you seem like you really know what you're doing better than Bach, Beethoven, or Mozart, right? Not so much Mozart. Bach is the guy, right? Every legit musician spends a little bit of time on Bach, and I would say this piece is just aching for you to do it on ukulele, because nobody's going to expect you to play something this complex and this fancy on this, right? And they're like, what's that? You know, like it only plays Over the Rainbow, right? Spend some time on this Bach. It's hard. It definitely takes your book 2 skills, but it's all quite playable. I mean, every time I play it, I'm amazed at how it just lays on here just the way, as if he wrote it on here himself. Good old Petzold, right? So, Bach Menuett, good stuff. All right, I only got 12 minutes. I'm kind of rushing. Okay, your job this week: get pages 3 and 4 together, and then I think we will spend one more week on it to play the whole thing as a suite. Okay, top to bottom. And so we're going to be on this a little bit longer. I want you to be good at it, and I want you to feel like you are in complete command of this piece of music. It will take you a long way, believe me. Everything in here helps with the other stuff too, right? Okay, let's move on. Those of you who are members and you want to play out of book 3, let's go grab, what were we going to play? We were going to play All of Me. That's what we looked at last week. So go grab All of Me ukulele style. Baritone players, hopefully you looked up your chords this week. And let's see how we sound. I gotta get strings put on this ukulele, by the way. Sounds like I probably changed them about 8 months ago. They are definitely dead. Okay, All of Me, jazz, right? Sorry, I don't know. People like it for some reason. In 4, key of C, sweet. And the only thing that's going to be super crazy is when you get down to that augmented chord and measure 34. That's a little bit weird. You got a diminished chord at measure 32, and kind of some pretty tough going from 23 through 27. Okay, that's a little bit tough through that section. So let's see how we do. Okay. Jazz. Here we go. Not fast. It's supposed to be 120, right? We're going to do it about 80. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start again. That's a lovely C sharp that I was playing there. All right. It's just, that's not really the note we want to be playing. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to the top, and second ending. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Pretty cool, right? Totally works. There's nothing on there that I changed. Nothing. All right, let's go try the baritone version of it. All right, there's several things on this I changed. All right. Again, if you're on ukulele, you're playing G chords, B chords, E chords, A minor chords. May not be the best ukulele backup song for you, but it's a good challenge if you're into it. Okay, let's play through it. Same thing as on ukulele from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. page 1. went too fast. Count the long notes, guys. Count the long notes, or you'll always be early. All right, very quickly, very quickly. Your song for the next 2 weeks is, what is it? Ukulele Lady. Okay. Now this is one of those songs that you wish was easier than it is, and Ukulele Lady, ukulele. Blong. Just go ahead and smash your instruments against each other and see what's good for them. Ukulele Lady is in 3 parts, essentially. So the first part, kind of basic. Page measure 3, you've got this C sharp. Okay. So work on that. Make sure that's correct. It just sounds super weird. It's like, what is that doing there? It's creating this tension that we then resolve. Okay, so that's part 1. Then down around measure 13, maybe no, it changes a little bit, but at measure 17 it changes quite a bit, right? So now you've got, so it starts off, I saw da 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 dum dum da 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 dum dum dum, right? So it's kind of weird tempo sort of thing. Then when you get to 17, it picks up, yeah, dum bum ba da 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 dum ba da 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 dum, right? So it's, and remember, you've got eighth notes and 6 dotted eighths mixed up with 16ths, so you're going to have this feeling. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Okay, and that continues on into 19. And so try to get that lilty, hopping around feeling that comes in this. And then that kind of goes away on page 3. Maybe she'll sigh and maybe she'll cry. Maybe somebody else will find her by and by. Right, so that it's sort of like, yeah, whatever. And then she returns to that swing time feel at measure 42. This is you're not probably, maybe you can, probably not going to just be able to play it sight reading it, right? Like, I'm already planning on spending a little bit of time on this. Again, it's pretty book 2-ish for the most part. The chord shapes for the most part are all book 2-y in nature. Measure 33 is the only bar chord in the entire thing. So you should be able to get it from a chord perspective, but from a rhythm perspective and from just this sort of weird jaggedy rhythm in there, that's what makes this song kind of cool. Here again, if you're a ukulele player, this song will come up when you go to strum along. Now they'll simplify the chords a lot, but they're not gonna. But to play an instrumental of this it's a bit of a tall order. I know the first time I put this together, I couldn't play it at all back in the day, and so it took me a while to start to figure out how in the world I was going to make this sound like anything. And you have a very legit version of this. I spent a lot of time on this over the years, and I really think that this is where it's happening. Remember, ukulele players, go check the baritone chords, because actually, for the most part, the baritones are a little bit more friendly chords. You're going to be able to play along with the baritone, so go make sure you know all the baritone, the chord shapes on the baritone chart. Okay, and then baritone players, obviously, you're going to need to go check, as always, you have to go check the ukulele chords. Not necessarily a very baritone-friendly song from the off of the ukulele pages, but ukulele players, this is a chance for you to play with baritone, and it'll sound really cool. That's all I know for today. It's 11 o'clock. I don't ever want to keep you over on Sundays. Have a wonderful week, you guys. You got 2 weeks to get Ukulele Lady done. You got 2 weeks to finish page 3 and 4 of Bach. You got 2 weeks to get your 3 and 4 chord things put together out of that book, Strum Along book. And you're coming to orchestra on Monday nights to play along with those guys. And that's it. That's all I know about ukulele. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Hope it's warm where you are. Hope those of you buried under snow will stop pretty soon. Jan said, I had to listen to the MP3 to learn Ukulele Lady. I've never heard it before. Yeah, as ukulele players, it's one of these songs where you're sort of... you probably want to know it because it's going to come up, and it's a great song. I love it. 1925 is, I think it's now officially public domain, so we can do whatever we want with it, and it's great. So all right, have a wonderful Sunday, you guys. I'll see you soon. Peace.